Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Now, if you've been around on this channel for quite a bit, you might have seen similar videos to this every year. So since 2017, I've been making videos detailing what I expect to see from Pokemon that year. In 2017, I expected to follow up to Sun and Moon and maybe Diamond and Pearl remakes. We did get Ultra Sun and Moon in the end, so that was one of the predictions I got right. 2018, I thought we might get Gen 8, and I think I did talk about the rumour at the time, which was Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and obviously we got those games. So for this year, I thought I'd keep the tradition going and make a video about what I expect from Pokemon for 2019. In this video, I'll be talking about things that have been confirmed, such as the movies that are coming out this year. We got 2 to look forward to. Also going to be talking about what I expect Pokemon to release. And finally, I'm going to be talking about my hopes and dreams for Pokemon for 2019. And also, guys, if you are seeing my face for the first time, this is a new format we're running for the, not for this year, but for the foreseeable future. I kind of like to have this connection with you guys. I talked about it in my latest update video. So the plan is, if you do miss my animations, don't worry, they are coming straight after this intro. It will be a on-screen intro and outro, and the bulk of the video will be the nice little animations that you guys love. I love seeing the comments about them, and I just thought I would definitely not take that away. I just don't want to scare anyone away from this beautiful face. But anyway, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, make sure to hit the like button down below, and if you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon this year, make sure to hit the subscribe button to become a part of Twintendo Nation. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's start the video. So let's start off the video with what we certainly know about Pokemon in 2019. Firstly, we are getting 2 movies this year. One is the traditional yearly Pokemon movie. Well, I say traditional, but in actual fact this film, which is the 22nd Pokemon movie titled Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, appears to be a remake of the first Pokemon movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back. However, for the first time in Pokemon history, the film looks like it will be entirely CG, which is computer generated. So we should be getting a much different annual Pokemon movie than we're used to. And of course, the second Pokemon movie we get this year is one a lot of us are looking forward to. This is of course Detective Pikachu, which will be in cinemas May 2019. Personally, I cannot wait to see this film. A live action Pokemon movie is something I've always dreamed of since I watched the first season of the Pokemon anime when I was a kid. The ultra realistic look of the Pokemon are dividing a few fans, but personally I think the real life designs of the Pokemon look great. I'm just hoping the film lives up to mine and everyone else's expectations. Okay, let's move on to the stuff everyone cares about, the games. As much as I am looking forward to Detective Pikachu, and believe me, I am, you cannot beat the hype for a new generation. I feel like for a lot of us, the hype got the better of us for Generation 7, and we were disappointed by the final product. Although Pokémon Sun and Moon weren't bad games, it felt like they were lacking the usual charm. Although Pokémon X and Y had a dreadful plot, it was still a beloved game due to the inclusion of Mega Evolutions, and I remember when Megas were first revealed in Korokoro and people lost their minds. Some people called it the end of Pokemon, saying it was like Digimon and they just were not happy with it, and others said it was a game-changing inclusion. And honestly, looking back at it, I'm surprised how the majority of people accepted Mega Evolutions and loved the new edition. Now, I personally thought Megas were a great addition and made Pokemon X and Y one of the most exciting Pokemon games in years. So fast forward 3 years, and Sun and Moon didn't bring much hype to the table. Z moves were just okay, and Alolan forms are great, but it was more Gen 1 pandering, which I cannot stand. I grew up in Gen 1, I should love Gen 1, I do love Gen 1, but I am absolutely sick of every single Pokemon game, at least recently, relying on Generation 1 to make sales and just feel like it's a good game because there's some Generation 1 aspects in that. I really didn't like that. And the good thing about Mega Evolutions in Pokemon X and Y, there wasn't any Generation 1 pandering. It was like Mega Evolutions were given out to so many different Pokemon in different generations, and that was the complete opposite in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and that was a big disappointment. So you're probably thinking, Twintendo, why are you talking about Generation 6? Why are you talking about Generation 7 and not Generation 8? Well, what I'm trying to say is, for me and a lot of other Pokemon fans out there, probably some of you guys watching this, we want a Pokemon game that's really going to impress us. And I think going from the 3DS to the Switch, which is a massive jump in hardware capability, I expect a Pokemon game that the likes of us have never seen. So when Pokemon X and Y was revealed for the first time, which was actually 6 years ago the other day, a lot of us were so incredibly excited to play a 3D main series game for the first time. I'm not counting Pokemon Colosseum, that is a core game but it's not main series, but it's like seeing, for example, you're playing Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire back in 2003 and then you see Pokemon Colosseum announced. That was the kind of mind-blowing experience, like, oh my god, Pokemon looks so different, yet it's the same experience. And I feel like going from the 3DS, which I think they did a good job with X and Y and Sun and Moon in terms of how the game looked and felt, but going from that to actually, you know, the Nintendo Switch, which can produce games like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is a massive open world game and it just looks incredible. And then you got Mario Odyssey that looks, again, very, very good, and it's also quite expansive. Not open world, but it's very different than the traditional Mario games, and it's very expansive. So a lot of people, myself included, I'm not expecting an open world Pokemon game for Generation 8, but I am expecting a bigger and better region. So as you can imagine, seeing games like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, like I mentioned, on the Switch, there are high expectations for Generation 8 to look completely different to any other main series Pokemon game and be more expansive than ever before. Like I said, I'm not expecting an open world Pokemon game at all. I just don't think that will ever happen, but something more along the lines of bigger cities, bigger routes with more things than ever to do. Now I know there are a lot of people out there still wondering when Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes will come out, because it's already past the 10th anniversary quite a while ago, back in 2016 actually, in Japan at least, and rest assured they will one day come out, but not before Generation 8's first main series game. Since it's not happening for Generation 7, it has to happen for Generation 8 Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, and you cannot put remakes out before the main series Generation 8 game. I mean, you could, but Pokemon have never ever done that, so seeing that, it's not going to happen. It would be Generation 8 this year, and at the earliest, expect Diamond and Pearl remakes next year in 2020. Could be even later, but hopefully we will get them soon, because I myself, massive Diamond and Pearl fan, I just can't wait to see what those games look like. Personally, my favourite generation, and it'll just look incredible on the Switch, I'm sure. But we don't even know what Generation 8 looks like at this point, so can't really get too ahead of ourselves here. But now we've had plenty of rumours for Generation 8, with some rumours popping up recently, like Pokémon Crown and Scepter, which I'll talk about in a later video. I've not really had the chance to look at that fully, but essentially the rumour is Generation 8 will be set in the UK or England. I mean, I am fully behind that. I mean, I'm English, so I've got to love that idea. And the other rumour we had a few years ago was Pokémon Plus and Minus, which actually dates back to January 2014, which is quite absurd since we've had a new generation since with Generation 7. And of course, we don't know how long Pokémon games are planned and worked and developed on, so there is potential that this particular rumour is true, especially since the description for these games, which I said dates back to January 2014, so only a couple of months after X and Y launched. But it mentions something very similar to the Nintendo Switch, and that wasn't revealed to the public till October 2016. So for me, that particular rumour has a lot of believability. I'll leave a link to the article in the description below, but essentially, the points that sound like they are mentioning the Nintendo Switch are as followed. More traditional Pokemon-like gameplay will be on the handheld controller, which in this case would be the Nintendo Switch in handheld mode. And then it goes on to say all new gameplay aspects will be on the terminal unit, which is basically just putting the Switch in the dock and having it in docked mode, which is obviously playing on your TV. Now it goes on to say that island gameplay with gym leaders and the Elite Four Island can be played entirely on the handheld, which again is just a handheld version of the Switch, you know, taking it out the dock, and then it can be blown up on the terminal for home play. So blown up in terms of you put the Switch in the dock and it will kind of, you know, make the resolution better in terms of blowing it up. Like you blow up an image, you make it look better and larger. And it sounds exactly like the Nintendo Switch. And remember, this is January 2014. We didn't even know about the Nintendo NX back then, which was the code name for the Nintendo Switch. And we didn't actually see what the Switch looked like and how it worked till October 2016. And that is, well, as you guys know, almost 3 years on since those points were made. Now, obviously, we can look at it in two different ways. Firstly, someone knew about the Nintendo Switch, they had insider knowledge and just thought, I can kind of get some interest if I just make some fake Pokemon Generation 7 rumours, because at the time this was Generation 7, not Generation 8. But like I said, we don't know how long Pokemon games are developed for. Being realistic, they're probably developed for a lot longer than we think. So for me, I don't know, this could go either way, but I think this rumour has a lot of believability, probably more than Pokemon Crown and Scepter. But like I said, I've not really looked into those rumours yet, and we'll be making a video on those at a later date. Now these Pokemon Plus and Minus rumours suggest the region is based off somewhere in Southeast Asia, which goes against the Pokemon Crown Scepter rumour, which suggests that the UK will be the basis for Generation 8's region. So there, like I said, a lot of conflicting rumours, but we will find out hopefully in a month or two where Generation 8 will be set and what it's going to be called. But enough of that. For the final part of the video, I'm going to make a few of my own predictions for Pokemon in 2019. And in regards to side games and Pokemon spin-offs, I expect we'll get a brand new Pokemon series that is completely original around the summertime whilst we wait for Generation 8, which will come out in the last quarter of 2019. Like the last few generations with X and Y and Sun and Moon, I expect an October to November release for Generation 8. But sadly, I don't expect a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game anytime soon. I know a lot of you guys who are subscribed to the channel. I used to cover Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon content and just Pokemon Mystery Dungeon in general. A lot of you guys know I love that game series. And I just don't think we will be getting one under Nintendo Switch. They didn't make a Generation 7 version, which was surprising as they had made one for every generation from Gen 3 onwards. And the only reason they did it from Gen 3 onwards was because that's when Pokemon Mystery Dungeon first came out in Generation 3. So they made one for every generation without fail until Generation 7. Now if Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is still a thing, the reason I don't think there was a Generation 7 game is because they were working on one for the Switch. Normally, or during the time of Generation 7, a lot of game developers were jumping from the 3DS and the Wii U to the Nintendo Switch, and I think they had made two different Mystery Dungeon series on the 3DS. I don't think they would have developed for a long time another 3DS game while they could have been working on the Nintendo Switch version of a Mystery Dungeon game. And like I said, this is only hypothetically if they are making another Mystery Dungeon game. But in terms of when that will be released, there is no point in releasing one with Pokemon up to Generation 7. So, you know, kind of filling in that gap they missed the Generation 7 release window, when Generation 8 will be out at the end of this year. And they wouldn't release a Mystery Dungeon game with all Generation 8 Pokemon in it before the main series games come out, because then you're kind of spoiling the impact of new Generation 8 Pokemon for the main series game. So if there is going to be a follow-up to 2015's Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, it will be at 2020 at the earliest, which, who knows, it's a possibility. But even then, I really have my doubts we'll see another one anytime soon. So hopefully I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is not going to be happening for a long, long time. So those are my hopes and dreams for Pokemon 2019. Honestly, Mystery Dungeon, I'd love it to happen, but I don't think it will. And as for Gen 8, I think we're in for an absolutely brilliant game. I really hope so after the disappointment of Generation 7 for me personally. You guys might have loved it. I personally really did not like it. Still a fine game, but for Pokemon standards, it kind of just wasn't for me. So Gen 8 is going to be very, very big, and it's going to be a massive step up from the 3DS to the Switch. I just can't wait to see it. But anyway guys, enough talking. I'm going to save a lot of the other discussion for other videos, so make sure you are subscribed to see them. Remember, click the subscribe button to become a part of the Twintendo Nation, and of course guys, if you did enjoy the video, a like is super appreciated. I will say this for all YouTubers. Remember, if you've got any YouTubers you like, make sure to like their videos, because YouTube's recent algorithm changes have screwed a lot of us over, so it would always be appreciated, but it's appreciated even more now. And I never used to say this, but like I said, because of algorithm changes, make sure to click that bell if you want to really stay up to date with everything, because loads of people who are subscribed don't get notifications. It's super annoying for me and you guys who want to see the video. So just thought I'd say that. Never really said that before, but yeah, things are changing this year. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!